Okay, so clearly we have clarity that the people influence us. The question is, and I want you to answer me, who are you influencing? What in you is causing you to have influence on others? And remember, influence is not that I send somebody for a course. It is somebody who looks at you, admires you, and would like to do what you do. They soon discover themselves doing things the same way with you because they trust in you. Do you have somebody like that? Because you have been influenced. Who are you influencing? Obviously, I'm talking not about influence generally. I mean positive influence. Because you can influence somebody to wrong. So you don't just say you are influencing. Are you influencing people in the right way? I want to compare character and personality, because sometimes people mistake personality for character. Character is what you are in the inside, from your heart. Personality is what we see on the outside. So every personality, you can have good character irrespective of your personality, because our personalities are different. And God created a very varied world. There are people who enjoy being quiet. There are people who like to be noisy. But do not think that the quiet ones are bad and the noisy ones are good. No, nobody will say the other way around. Do not think that the noisy ones are bad and the quiet ones are good. You can have good character irrespective of your personality. So you must differentiate the two. So we are saying character is only possible. Since it's in the inside, it is value-based. In other words, what you talk about character, since it's on the inside, it is what are your principles, what are the values you live on. That's what determines your character. If you have a certain belief system right within your heart, we shall see it in your character. It will affect your good attitudes, your considered thoughts, your considered actions, finally your habits, your convictions, your principles, and your beliefs, right based on the values of your heart. Personality is what we see on the outward. It is need-based. What do you feel like are your needs? And it could lead to your bad attitude, natural thoughts, natural actions, natural feelings, competence issues, interests, skills, natural behaviors. Those could easily come from your personality. You know, character is a state of human being. When we say that man is of good character, we are describing his state. Character is the total sum of one's beliefs, convictions, principles, values, habits, all of them. And a person of good character, therefore, is a good human being. When you say that's a good character, what we mean is a good human being. Character is what you are in the dark. You know, the complication about human nature is that we are not like dogs. Dogs behave according to their habits. Am I right? But you know, a thief can behave as a good person long enough for you to trust him. Am I right? But that doesn't change him. He is still a thief. He is looking for a time to strike. And that particular ability of a human being is what is the problem. Because character is not what you see in a day. Character is what you see over time. Because person can pretend to be other. Like, if it's a young man, I've been married for almost 6 years, so it's not recently. But at least I remember the days of youth. If you want a girl, there's nothing you cannot do to win her over. Am I right, man? I've never been a girl, so I don't know about that. But if your son is unkempt, bad hair, you are always asking, surely you are a young man, how can you behave like this? And he doesn't change. The father talks, the mother talks, he doesn't change. One day, he falls in love. He doesn't have to tell you. The room will change. The guy will start making the hair. He says, son, what has happened? He will tell you. There is a girl he's trying to win over. Okay, is the point? Something changes from within. Now, but that doesn't mean his character has changed. He has a mission, isn't it? So you need to understand character is not what you are showing us. Character is what you really are. And the trouble with pretense. A guy can be with a girl, he is okay. One day she annoys him, and he forgets he was acting. That guy will not believe he is the same boy. Oh, you say, I'm so sorry, I don't know what happened to me. Please do not listen to him. The way he acts when touched is what he actually is. If I take 2 bottles of water, I'm still trying to demonstrate this issue of character. If I take 2 bottles of water, and you look at them, they look clean. But this happened to have sedimentation. But once you let them settle for a day, the sediments are at the bottom, isn't it? I take this one, shake, it's still clean. This one is with my left hand. I can't even shake it hard. But within a short time, it's dirty. I ask, hey, you are giving me that water. No, you are the problem. Why did you shake it? That's not the truth. Shaking is not the problem. Both of them I shook. Even in fact, I shook harder. But if I shake something and it has not done, will it become dirty? No. It's exactly the same with this boy. The trouble is not that God annoyed you. It's that there was sediment at the bottom. And when you were shaking, that came out. It's very important that you with good character. There is no possibility. You know, sometimes you say, I would have been a good husband if only my wife was better. That's not the problem. When the wife shakes you up, sorry, she should not be shaking you up, but what comes out is who you really are. I'm getting my point. That's who you really are. So you need to understand when you talk about character, we are talking about who you are. There are certain values where even if they told you they are going to kill you, you allow them to kill you. If they tell you they are firing you can't change yourself. That's who you are. So you need to ask yourself, who are you in the dark? In other words, there is nothing, you are not acting. It's not a show. That's who you are. If, for example, you have a value of chastity, you do not sleep with other people's wives or their mothers. You need to understand clearly that even if you are left with that woman in the same room, nothing will change. Why? It's not your character. There's a guy called Joseph, who is the owner of the house when he is a supervisor, he is all alone, they're in the house, the owner, the wife of the man says, it's time. You know he has gone. Now, you know the story in the book of Genesis, do you? And the guy said, no. Nothing like that. The woman said, he held the coat. He ran away and left the coat. Because he cannot. He says, how can I sin? Not against your husband. How can I sin against God? And he was sure God was there also, even if the husband has gone away. When we are talking about character, that's what we are talking about. As long as you haven't changed your values, you have only changed your behavior. It's a temporary change. Only when you change your values will your behavior change permanently. That's what we are really talking about. Character. And we are saying a person is a good human being because character is what you are in the dark. So as you sit here, even your husband may not really know you. You know yourself. There are only 3 people who know you well. Yourself, God, and the devil. There are 3 of them. You know exactly who you are, clearly. Because human being has the capacity to act. Am I right? Have a capacity to act. So we are asking you, do you have the good character we are talking about? Because when you do, because it's so rare, it tends to attract others. Character is like the foundation of the house. It is below the surface. You know, when they were building our highest building for many years, was a building we called Kenyatta Conference Center. If you saw a picture of Nairobi, it was always Kenyatta Conference Center that you saw. Now there are higher buildings that have come. This is the Kibaki leadership era. But it was the highest. But the next time they were building, Kenya Conference Center was built when I was at the university in the 70s. The next building was next to Shell BP House. So I saw them constructing it. It's called the Times Tower. I saw them constructing it. And my post office box is near there. You go, and the first month, and they are going down. Second month, they are going down. I asked, have they forgotten they were building up? How come they are going down? Have you seen some of these big buildings where they build them? For 2-3 months, they are just moving so. And they are going deeper, and there is a rock, they even go faster. It's so deep, you wonder what they're after. It's today I understand that for a building to be 28 stories, it needs to go way down. Because the higher the building, the deeper the foundation. That's what you're talking about. Character is the foundation. If you try to build a high-rise, that's why you find a lot of people, once they become senior, they do things you never imagine. Because the building has become too high for the foundation. They don't have the foundation to do the building. You find a guy who, when he was a junior, was always a good guy. He becomes an MD, and he cannot. The wife is too few. He has to look for other women. You say, but sure, so and so. How could he? Is it possible? It is possible because the seniority is way above the foundation he actually has. And it's important to then ask yourself, do you have the foundation that will hold the building when God gives you opportunity for top leadership? I think it's an important thing to ask yourself, even as we talk about others, whether it is something that we really are doing ourselves. Character is a distinctive mark, graphic symbol, sum of mental and moral values, beliefs, principles, convictions, habits, qualities, all of them put together is what is really going to form what your character is. In Greek, character, instrument for marking, impress, distinctive nature. Character is scratch and grave. In other words, character is the way you are built, like an engraving. And we now want to move from there, and I hope I have defined what character is for you, and go to the question of character as a foundation of leadership. How does character relate with leadership? Is our next subject. And again, if you have a question, you can stop me at any moment. Ever heard of the law of solid ground, which says trust is the foundation of leadership? In other words, begin with trust, you have leadership. Put the other way around. Character makes trust possible, and trust makes leadership possible. Therefore, it flows like this. You have good character, people trust you, you therefore have good leadership. Followers of the leader, the followers of the leader will lose trust quickly if they observe attitudes and behaviors that do not match express ethical standards and values. In other words, you may be a leader today. Start with the bad attitude and bad behavior. People say, Hiya, Nganga used to be trustworthy. I don't know what has happened since he got married. You know, the people look for a reason for somebody else to blame, so they want to blame my wife. I don't know what happened to him and from the time he got married. You can't trust him. Maybe he's needing more money to look after his wife. He seems to be taking money from the office. Now, they are starting to doubt you. They are losing trust. Within no time, they only obey when they fear you. They no longer admire you. You have lost your leadership. You have lost your influence. The two are related. A leader, remember, a leader's character, since character is what you are in the dark, a leader's character is revealed in various situations. Have you ever heard of the saying, how others treat the CEO says nothing, they say, but how the CEO treats the waiter is like a magical window into the soul. You know, who would not talk nicely to the CEO? If you're working there, or you're a customer, or you're a supplier, you really want to know his business. And that's one of the things sometimes we mistake. When we are treated as managers, we are treated so well, we assume we are leaders. We mistake our fear for leadership. But in my working life, I discovered a long time ago, like I used to be in charge of aviation, and Shell that time had a 100% market share. Anybody who had an aircraft in Kenya, whether Air Force or Kenya Airways or the smaller aircraft, all of them were my customers, because Shell had 100% market share. So everywhere I went, people were saying, every Christmas I would get so many offers of calendars and gifts. Somebody brings a bottle of wine and something else, and my job was, every Christmas was a terrible time as I tried to refuse the things, because I don't drink and I won't take your wine, because you will think I drink after I take it. Now, I always had to struggle with my work, with my staff, because they said, just allow us, hand it over to us. But he never gave me, he gave me. Therefore, he wanted me to drink. Now, so I take out the card and return the wine. Now, and they will thank you, this card is enough to thank me. But they felt offended that I'm not taking their gifts. The day I moved from aviation to another department, nobody the following Christmas offered me even a card. Leave alone the other things, even a card. Me, I thought, and they used to say, they are not offering me as a manager, they are offering me as a friend. What happened to the friendship? They were not offering me as a friend, they are offering me for the post. Minus the post, they have no need of me. I don't see the point. And people, a lot of things, that's why a lot of people think they are not bright. Can you hear me clear? Every gift from a person dependent on you is called a bribe. Do not take anything from somebody you are dealing with in business and stick in your mind is not a bribe. And I tested that. I went to the area manager in the 80s, our western region next to Victoria. Again, everybody wants to give me. There's a contractor who came to give me a car. Because mine had a problem, he brought me a car. I just saw my car in front of my gate. The day I was transferred, even a car, even a telephone call, I discovered every gift from a client is actually called a bribe. He is trying to use a gift to manipulate and manage you. Are we together? Just tell me why they stop. The only reason they stop is because those things were bribes. Now anyway, all I'm trying to get you to see is that the way people treat you as a leader, as a manager, does not tell you whether you have influence or not, necessarily. So the other way around, if you only want to know your character, we should look the other way around. How do you treat the powerless? Because that messenger cannot do anything to you, cannot promote you, cannot fire you. So you don't treat him well because of his power. You treat him well because you value people. Did you hear the examples we got? So it is the way you treat powerless people is what tells me what your character is. Not the way you yourself are treated. In fact, I would like to come to see you when you don't know me and you are in a restaurant. And then a waiter comes and pours tea on your suit. The way you act will tell me your character. Are we together? Because you cannot already imagine what will happen if a waiter pours tea on you. It depends exactly. But you see, but Mr. Nyanga, can't you see this suit? Cost me a lot of money. Now wait a minute. I know you have lost your temper. But remember the story of the two bottles? If there was nothing wrong inside, the waiters shaking could not have gotten all this trash out of the trash. The trash was always there. So it's important to understand clearly that your character is how you treat people that are helpless. My sister, how you treat house girls. Do you call them house girls or housemaids? What do you call them? House girls or housemates? Maid, housemaid. The way you treat a housemaid tells me your character. There are three reasons why the housemaid is powerless. Number one, they are normally not very educated, so they don't have alternative jobs. Number two, they are normally new to town. They don't even understand where they can run away. Number 3, and most important, they haven't told you to, there's a much they can do. With that, it means that the person is totally helpless. My sister, how you treat that girl tells me your character. How you treat your husband who bought you a car the other day, sure, it's obvious how you treat him. That doesn't tell me your character. It is how you treat the helpless housemaid or houseboy. That's what so we are talking about character. And it is that character, when people see how you are treating the helpless, like my friend said, the way the MD is talking to messengers like they are friends, impress you. Am I right? That's what we are talking about. That's what your character is. That's why your people follow you. Now, if you can treat a house girl like that, sure, you treat me better. So I'm willing to go where he wants me to go. I can't fear him. Because he could crash that guy, he never crashed me. Now he's telling us to do this. I will do it. I know he means good. Even if I don't understand the details, I know he means good. I will follow him. If you are after transformational of your community, this is the price you have to pay. Your character has to change. You have to be somebody who is who understands. So, and I think it's important to understand. And I've talked about that. Let me go on, which is my third step. How do we know about character and value? Where do we get our character from? Where do we get our character from? Number 1, character is taken from creation, the way you are created. Nature gives us character. There is a natural order to things, and there is time for everything. There is order and design in nature. There is a way of doing things. So if I was talking to you, and I started walking on my leg, on my head, and I'm like this, are you going to think I'm normal? There is a way, when you talk to people, you stand. You don't go upside down. But there is no rule. I can still talk to you with my head down. But that's not the way things are done. I am here, covered all over. Surely, it doesn't make me different because I'm covered. But human nature tells us, when we go outside the bathroom, we cover ourselves. So if you don't cover yourself, we say, yeah, that's an immoral person. He has no good character. Sometimes it's not even the question of fully being undressed. In Kenya, we are trying to fight young men who are totally unruly. They see a woman in a bus stop with a short dress, they remove even the short one. Now, it's a crisis, and the Kenyan government is trying to deal with it. To say that if the dress is that short, really you are much better off without it. Now, of course, that is not good character. But what they are saying is simple. Human beings should be properly dressed. There are certain parts that must be covered. Why are they covered? Don't ask me, I have no idea. You know, the animals walk and they are never covered. Now, you need to understand that when you are a human being, there are certain natural things everywhere where people cover. Even when you came to Kenya in the 1950s, when I was a young person, there were still tribes that were not very disturbed by the white man's culture. But everybody may not be covered anywhere else. They will be covered here and covered here. You know, they always, it never was not the white man who told us to cover. We were covering even before he came. Am I right? So it's natural to cover yourself. It's unnatural not to cover your. So good character is acting according to nature. I'm trying to say, where do you get character? From nature. Whatever nature is, that's what you are going to be doing. Nature gives us patterns for good behavior. That's why parents protect the young one and the weak one. If a woman gives birth and runs away, we say, what an evil woman. Am I right? Because according to us, babies are helpless. And the mother of the baby must look after the baby. It's unnatural not to look after the baby. And another one. There are people who are your neighbors and you never see them because they're always working at night and sleeping in you start suspecting, is that a prostitute or a night runner? Do you have people called night runners? There's something strange about him. You don't think they are good character, because the normal thing is work in the daytime and sleep at night. Obviously, with the 24-hour economy, this is going to change. Marriage is between men and women. So when somebody comes and tells us that he wants to marry Steve, wants to marry Ken. Now you say, wait a minute, what did you say? We think there's something strange. For a man to want to marry another? Oh, I love him. Now, surely. It's so unnatural. So you're saying good character is being natural. So that nature teaches us that you marry for joy and procreation. You marry another man, it might be for joy, but not for procreation. Now, sure, that tells everybody. The trouble is, we have become abnormal has become so normal that they are telling Africans, if they keep insisting on this natural thing, we will not get any AIDS after that. Remember they told Museveni that? Do you remember? And I hear they already stopped giving funding. Why? Why are you saying that a man cannot marry another man? Now, what you're saying is, good character is drawn from nature. You reap what you sow. So anybody who reaps where he never sowed, we say he is a bad character. You cannot go sleep when I'm planting my maize. Then when the maize is ready, you are harvesting mine. Say, that's a thief. That's a bad character. But people who rely, they may be poor, but they rely on what they sow. We say, oh, that's a good character. They reap what they sow. You know, other things that come from nature is love leads to more love. When somebody loves you, are you supposed to hate him? No. So, when you love someone, naturally, nature teaches us, you give back love. Violence leads to more violence. It's a pity that we don't seem to know that. So, you start one tribe, like in Kenya, starts fighting another one. And it's so meaningless. You can't imagine someone can do that. In our last elections, not the last one, last one but 0708, that's what happens. When one party won, and the guy came from one particular area in Kenya, all people who are in the other side, they started killing them. You know, they are not the one who stolen the election, if it is stolen at all. It just happened to be called a name similar to where those people come from. It's unnatural. It is not right. And you see, what they did not know is that you can't kill. You have people everywhere. Remember, even like Zambia, you're all mixed up, isn't it? So when you start, so the ones in northern Zambia, they beat up everybody from southern Zambia because the president is from southern Zambia, and they don't like him. You should not have won. You start killing them. Remember the northerners are also without. Am I right? Yes. Within no time, there was such bloodshed in Kenya. There were more than 1,500 people dead within 3 weeks. And it should have been obvious. I don't know what's wrong with politicians sometimes. It should have been obvious. Don't allow it. Because as soon as you kill this one, violence begets violence. We have a vernacular saying in my language that says, if a dispute is solved by violence, it's only taken leave. It's going to come back. How true it is. In other words, if you annoy me, and because I used to be a boxer in years gone by, I look at you and I say, this guy I can take his dentophobia. You know the dentophobia? And you start coming thinking that you can be there. Now you are down. Then look at that guy and say, hi, he's Kenyan. I don't think I can handle him. Do you think you'll fight me back? No. You just go away and try to find out where I'm sleeping. And so to be out now properly with your son in go. Now you need to understand you need to understand violence begets violence. That's character. It should be obvious. So you should not try violence because violence cannot solve the problem. The same saying from my tribe says that if you resolve something through discussion, it is solved permanently. In other words, the one where the issue was resolved because of a discussion you will never see that problem again. So that's we talk about character, natural things. So you cannot be the type where you expect to beat someone and keep quiet. You never win a war. Violence never wins. Because if you beat me up, I'll talk to my son. Do you remember David talking to Solomon? He says, so and so and so and so, they really hurt me. But I was not able to fight back. Nay, do not allow them to go to their grave with their gray hair. Have you read that in the Bible? So you need to understand, if you beat someone, you are planting seeds of fighting for the generations to come. So it's important to understand, we are saying the natural thing, your character. Mistrust leads to more mistrust. You just need to tell your wife, I saw you talking to somebody in church. What are you talking about? You know, your wife now knows you don't trust her. She will wonder, since I have no interest in other men, what will make him think I can think like that? Might it be he has already started? Now, mistrust begets mistrust. And it's something that you need to be aware. Respect leads to more respect. And greed leads to more greed. Good character has within it a magnetic and transformative power. When you have good character, you tend to draw people to yourself and you can lead them to the transformation you are looking for. So far, we have looked at source of character, and one of them, I think you now agree with me, is natural. Creation helps us to know what is good character. The second one is conscience. The invisible law written on everyone's heart is what we call conscience. The good part of humans is what we call conscience. What kind of things do we learn from conscience? Do not kill another person. If you kill, most people have said, when you kill, you have such guilt conscience, you will never sleep. Are you getting my point? I read a magazine, a Gideon's magazine, about a guy who killed someone on the western coast of USA, then ran away. They looked for the killer until they closed the file. He went and settled on the eastern coast, started a new life, and finally married. But for 30 years, he was under such guilt. 30 years later, he said, I can't live on this. He has a family, but he decided it's too much. He drove himself all the way back to the western coast and went to the police station and he said, 30 years ago, was somebody by this name killed? They looked in their files and said, yes. But why are you interested? That's a close file. We stopped. So we are no longer following it up. The person says, the killer is me. He said, what will make you? Well, the matter is closed. Why would you want to be in trouble? He says, I'm better off. It will be much more joyful in jail than what I'm going through currently. Just when you open the file. And I'm confessing. He was taken to court. The judge listened. And the judge decided to release him. You need to understand that guilt, because in our nature, guilt is such a menace. That is conscience. That's what conscience does. You can do it. You can overrun your conscience like some, computer experts can overrun your password. Am I right? They do something, your password, and stop them, but they are still able to go beyond your password. What is that called? When they are able to get into your hacking. But the truth is, the guilt remains. So you need to be aware. Good character does not suffer from guilt. Because your conscience will disturb you. Do not steal from another. It will disturb your conscience. Do not lie. Speak the truth. Share with those in need. When you pass somebody who is suffering and you have enough food, he can't steal from you. He cannot force you. But your conscience will disturb you for letting him die when you could have helped him. Conscience tells you all humans are equal. We are created in the image of God. We need to think of the needs of others. We need to work. Work is a part of life. Laziness is not good character. We need to rest. We need to have fun. Pursue happiness. Before we go for tea, I want us to, in our tables, to do that exercise. Share examples of African words for conscience and the light they throw and its meaning. I'm assuming, I was told there are 70 languages in Zambia, so I hope each table has more than two languages. And you share with each other. What's conscience? You know the word in English. Share it in that vernacular. And then, what does it, you move from conscience to the local language, then out of the local language back to English. What are the actual implications? Because it doesn't mean exactly the same. So I want you to share with us, in that language, what is conscience? So, gather together and select a rapporteur who will report on your behalf of your table.